New England Roller Derby Report would like to thank their production sponsor, Sociopath. Sociopath is a skater-run business offering custom sewn-to-order leg wear for teams and individuals, including size-inclusive activewear designed to fit you. Sociopath also offers dozens of armband and helmet cover options for scrimmage and competition. Team discounts are available, so see sociopath.ca for more details. And of course, Sociopath, that's SEWCIOPATH.ca as in Canada. So I am Beautiful Banshee, and I am here with
Rich Mahogany. Welcome everybody to the MRDA North American Qualifiers. We are in Game 11.
Woo!
Second to last.
Yes. Now, Game 11 will tell us who will qualify to go to the 2019 MRDA Championships in Denver, Colorado, co-hosted by the Men's Roller Derby Association and Denver Ground Control. So we are going to get started. We've got a pairing of Mohawk Valley Roller Derby's Quad Fathers and Austin Anarchy. Up first, our host league, Mohawk Valley Roller Derby. The Quad Fathers are 0101 Deb Crush, 10 Chapin, 1013 El Majestic, 1213 Where's a Brutal, 1618 Rufo, 202 Defunk, 315 D Shears, 33 Unwired, 35 B Shears, 43 Chapin. There are two of them, yes. 48 Oxenfree, 5 Poblex, 6 Salkowski, 603 Housetar, and 96 Stever is their captain. On the bench, we have Coach Gutshot wearing the A, along with Smitten Kitten, Slay West, and Stankus working third base.
Over on the other side for the Austin Anarchy, they will be wearing the white with red and some jorts mixed in.
Gotta love the jorts.
We are going to see number 03, Party McFly, 132, Airs a Pound, number 1337, Joliet Jane, number 22, Hobo, number 3, Wombo Combo, number 303, Il Nino, number 3077, Spank, number 35, Sharknado, number 51, Naked Alien, number 6000, Whipstitch, number 65, T-Rex. Captain for the Austin Anarchy will be number 8, Doc, followed up by number 818, Vicious, and number 99, Curtis. They will be supported from the bench by their coach, Danny B.
All right, setting on up. Of course, we do have Austin Anarchy in white, as Rich mentioned. I didn't mention that we have Mohawk Valley's Quad Fathers in black and setting up on the jammer line and now headed out of the pack, securing lead. That is Housetar of the Quad Fathers, though not far behind him. We have Sharknado.
Things are off to a quick start here in the first jam. Austin Anarchy taking up a defensive position at the front of the pack, but that pack is now picking up speed. Housetar racing in to try to get some points. Will call it off, picking up 2. Manages to hold Austin Anarchy down to 0.
You had a little sip there and said fish, and I went, oh, it's because Sharknado. Boom. Yeah, that was fun. All right, so thanks to all of our fans and friends joining us on the twitch.tv/nerdderby feed. Free, if I might add that. It's high quality, no cost broadcast for all of you out there in the Derbyverse. So we are very happy to have you join us. And we did have a question from Bagel Che about Julio not skating in this game. And that's correct. He was rostered in the earlier game, but there are roster changes here and there. So he is not on the current game's roster. But you know who is? 303 Il Nino from Austin Anarchy jamming against Poblex of Mohawk Valley.
We've got the Quad Fathers taking position, their jammer up at the front. Poblex trying to get through that wall of the Austin Anarchy, trying the outside line, not going to find any purchase there. So these packs starting to dig in the second straightaway. Of course, as I say that, Poblex really driving things forward. Only 2 to beat, 1 now. Oh, big hit by number 99,
Sparks,
Curtis.
Yeah.
But Poblex will get through. Lead jam goes to the Quad Fathers.
And Poblex has had stellar performance in the last couple of games. Anarchy better watch out for moms. It's because of the jorts. But someone had asked, Chipunk, the Quad Fathers were ranked 13th in the MRDA, and Austin Anarchy is 14th in the MRDA prior to the 2019 North American Qualifier.
So that jam will wrap up with 3 points going up for the Quad Fathers. Biggest jam so far in Jam 2. So score now sits at Quad Fathers 5, Austin Anarchy 0. We're going to line up for this next jam. Both teams at full strength. Number 202, Defunk out there for the Quad Fathers in the black and orange. And that'll be Wombo Combo, number 3 out there for the Austin Anarchy in white.
Now, we've seen strong performance from Defunk in the pack over this weekend so far. I believe this is his jammer debut during this weekend anyway. I've seen him jam at different times. Oh no, I missed that bit, that's right. But we do have a power jam right now for Defunk and the Quad Fathers, but there was a multiplayer block call on Austin Anarchy. Oh, and then followed by an additional, so 818, there was a multiplayer, and then we see Naked Alien with a forearm. So a little bit of penalty trouble, 4-2 pack advantage for the Quad Fathers at current, 4 points for Defunk.
Defunk taking full advantage. So Wombo Combo now back on the track after serving 30 seconds for his forearm penalty. Oh, big hit on Wombo Combo by number 1213 for Mohawk Valley. That is Frerza Brutal.
And that she is. And we saw D Shears 315 to the penalty box, and soon followed by Unwired with a penalty, though Frerza Brutal picks up a forearm call. She's in the queue right now because Unwired and D Shears are seated in the penalty box. So she'll return to the track until there is a spot available. So at the moment, we've got 2 blockers from the Quad Fathers out there. Pack advantage to Anarchy.
The Quad Fathers closing out that last jam with 8 points. Austin Anarchy yet to get up on the board. So we are rolling into jam number 4.
Sharknado with the star for Austin up against Chapin, number 43 for the Quad Fathers. And a quick run back coming from number 8. That is Doc, the captain of Anarchy. Lead secured by Sharknado. And Frerza Brutal communicating to B-Shares that she is headed to the penalty box. We see D-Shares released and currently unwired. They are standing in the box and released.
Chapin now through, completes the initial pass for the Quad Fathers. Chapin, though, not going to have any of, or I'm sorry, Austin Anarchy not going to have any of those shenanigans. Will call off the jam. So 4 points picked up there will put the Austin Anarchy on the board.
Right, no shenanigans, but they will take the points for sure. And let's see here. Yes, patio furniture. I do not disagree with you. Julio was doing a great job. But we know that every team, they roster to suit the needs. So right now, we've got House Tar wearing the star for Mohawk Valley up against 303 El Nino.
Got the 4th 2-pack advantage in favor of Austin Anarchy going into this jam. Nice run back here happening by Joliet Jane on House Tar. So El Nino is through for Austin Anarchy, taking lead jam. That'll be the 2nd lead of the game, 2 in a row now for them.
And we have a majority Jort representation on the track in the backstretch and jamming for Anarchy.
A majority, perhaps?
Majority. I like it. But right now, El Nino scoots by, able to do so, and picking up 4 points. Juliet Jane to the penalty box, having a seat, though. Seeing the 3-on-3 pack, oh no, we have 4-3 in favor of Quad Fathers at the moment. House Star pushing up against the Anarchy defense halfway between jammer and pivot lines, and then a bit of a kerfuffle as El Nino diving into the links of the Mohawk Valley tripod, though does hit the floor. Let's see what's going on. We have a forearm call, and that was against D Shears. And I see El Majestic, the pivot for Mohawk Valley to the box, didn't quite catch that call, but right now 4-2 pack advantage for the Anarchy.
Anarchy doing a great job holding back House Tar up at the front of the pack. He's pushing away, but not able to find any purchase on that seam. With that, the jam will be called off by Austin Anarchy. Going to be a grand total of 8 points, be the biggest jam of the game for them, bringing their total up to 12. And we've now got a 1-point game on our hands. Quad Fathers leading just by 1.
I was going to say, be ready. You have to be on the edge of your seat for this one. We did have a question in the chat if Dylan Shears was back on the team. Yes, Dylan Shears is there. That's D Shears, 315. His brother, Brendan, is 35. So you'll hear us refer to 35 and 315 quite a bit. D Shears and B Shears. I'm doing my best to enunciate. Thanks for bearing with me. But right now, Poblex with the star for Mohawk Valley, getting cycled back by Curtis. A no point, no penalty for Wombo Combo, so that means lead is open at current.
So Wombo Combo, though, now eligible to score points as we have an absolutely frenetic pack in turn 1. Pavlex will break through to take lead. Looks like he's going to press on for points here.
Okay, Zalkowski to the penalty box with a forearm. And we're seeing a pack, tentative because of the jammer approach in turn 1, though it is going full speed ahead, seeing a few folks down on the floor in its wake. Both Pavlex and Wombo Combo fighting at the lines. Pavlex cycled back to the top of the back stretch, though, makes his way around, has to shoulder it out. And 4 points up there for Pavlex, also for Wombo Combo. So 4-4, I believe, on that. We look at Austin Anarchy with 16 points, the Quad Fathers at 17, a 1-point game right now. We'll see if there are any edits and keep you informed.
So up until that jam, we had seen a new high score being set for every jam. So only now here in jam number 6 are things starting to not bubble, higher with all of these scores, but we'll see what Jam 7 brings to us as number 202, Defunk, takes the line for the Quad Fathers, going up against number 35 for the Austin Anarchy, Sharknado.
Yes, and Sharknado is certainly living up to his name this weekend, seeing some whirling, twirling action, and yes, he is a shark for the points. But right now, pack spreading from turns 1 to 2. Defunk battling it out against Naked Alien, Pivot, and Ezra Pound of the Anarchy. But right now, a quick recycle from Fuerza Brutal, getting up there, going for the O, and Defunk caught up with the shoulder dance from Naked Alien. Naked Alien not letting this one go, able to cycle back, shoving Defunk to the infield in turn 4. And he's in 3.5 at current. We have a forearm call against Ezra Pound. He'll have a seat in the penalty box.
It's like there was a little momentary confusion there for Defunk. He thought that he was the one called on that penalty, but no, free and clear, so he's back into the action here.
Well, the great thing is, though, Defunk was completely mindful and aware.
Absolutely.
And that is definitely an asset for him as a jammer. And he does the hard work. He's out there putting up points. Let's see, that one was just the initial, so no points this time. Sharknado calls it, knowing that Defunk will be eligible on the next trip to score.
So that will be 2 points picked up by Austin Anarchy. Quad Fathers held down to 0, and you know what that means, Banshee. That'll be our first lead change of the game. Austin Anarchy taking the lead, 17-18.
And again, thanks to our friends on the Twitch TV stream joining us. Hi, Smite. Yes, Naked Alien is so good, and we just had a front row seat for that. The shoulder blocking right there, that was a thing of beauty. And Deb Crush set up against Il Nino. Now, Deb Crush seemed to be one of the most successful jammers on the Quad Fathers during one particularly difficult game yesterday. Lead secured by Il Nino. Pack cycling back Deb Crush. And in turn 1, we're seeing, of course, some great line work coming from the Quad Fathers. B-Shears with the run back. And Deb Crush getting caught up on number 8. That is Doc, really giving Deb the business, but she stashes a star, able to exit the pack. And Anarchy having one blocker to the box, and that is Doc.
So that'll be 2 points up for Anarchy as the jam is called. We are at a 4-4 lead acquisition thus far in this game. One thing that's rather interesting to note, I feel, is earlier today, Mohawk Valley played against Philly.
Yes.
So we saw Deb Crush doing a lot of great work out there as a blocker and pivot. They didn't send her out to jam a lot. So now getting into this jam, seeing them put her out there, giving her the star, I'm really interested to see if they'll be putting her more into the rotation in this game.
Well, I do know that their main coach, Gutshot, she tries to staff the game accordingly to the opponent. And there's really a great deal of thought put into it. And oh my, D Shears with the big hit on Wombo, though he's off to the penalty box. We see Naked Alien with the star, and House Tar ends up calling the jam. 4 points for the Quad Fathers. Again, bolstering the lead to 1 point, 21-20. We are just, 12 minutes? 12 minutes, 10 seconds in, and it's just a constant.
It's been an absolutely amazing flurry of action there. We almost missed that. We had the brain working good. Naked Alien took that star as a star pass, so that forced the call off here, and now we are in the middle of a team timeout.
I think we have a church of Naked Alien assembling here in the chat. We have, aside from Naked Alien is so good, we've got Alien is godlike. So, we see there's definitely the following, and rightfully so. So many great contenders for the MVJ and MVB of the tournament.
So while we are in this team timeout, we'll give a quick shout out to our officials officiating this game. Our on-skates officials are Judge Double Wapner, Recordian, Dirkshire, Dilligiff, Zero, Frau Blucher, Damon Mistress, and Push-Up Zebra. We'll tell you a little bit more about the NSOs when we get a next break, because we are ready to get back into the action, friends. Number 303, El Nino, wears the star for Austin Anarchy. We'll be skating against number 5, Podlex, for the Quad Fathers.
Yes, and those jammers are not giving each other any space. They were pretty much hip to hip, and we're seeing a quick rollback from the defense of Austin Anarchy. Podlex working that inside line, but being held from what was a tripod that turned into a cube. Now up front, El Nino being driven to the infield in turn 1. A forearm penalty assessed to B. Shears. D. Shears standing in the box, but it is a 4-2 pack advantage for Anarchy at current, lead to El Nino.
Podlex still working on the initial pass, trying to dance up the inside line, but meets with fierce resistance. Number 51 there for the Austin Anarchy. Once again, Naked Alien doing some great work there, opening up the door for El Nino, through for 4 points. Oh, and it's going to be a back block penalty on the jammer for the Quad Fathers, Podlex. So we've got a power jam now for the Austin Anarchy.
Yes, and Rich, I'm not sure if you caught it, but right as El Nino came into turn 4, he made a little motion with his hands. It was almost like firing guns, sort of, and it was to command the pack in order to respond accordingly. So really great communication there without saying a word.
That's awesome. It's great to see that kind of teamwork happening on, because, you don't want to just signal, go to the outside. You can read that. Finger guns, what do finger guns mean? You don't know, but they do.
Yeah, they do. And in this case, Jam's call-off was forced by B. Shears because he caught El Nino just a little, and then of course El Nino's like, I'm good. Called that off with those hip taps. What do we have from Bobby Narco?
Well, Bobby Narco tells us that the leads continue to be even. Each of these teams have picked up 5, and with that last jam, we have yet another lead change. Quad Fathers had taken the lead, but Austin Anarchy now ahead 28-21. 16 minutes remain to play, and we are into jam 11.
Yes, and Sharknado securing lead after a brief power start. Podlex released from the penalty box, springing forward, of course, and picks up a cutting the track penalty. So he'll have a seat power jam in favor of Austin Anarchy. 4 points up for Sharknado. In the back stretch, we're seeing a tentative pack, at least at the front, from Mohawk Valley, though, of course, a goat in the form of D. Shears, caught by Anarchy's blockers.
Well, he will escape that blocking force. Call off by Austin Anarchy happening there will get them 8 points total for that jam. Does ice the Quad Fathers jammer in the box.
8 is the highest scoring jam in the game, which we've got a couple of repeats on. So we're looking to see which jammers are up to the task. So far, highest scoring jam, we have a tie between Uncle Dad and oh my goodness, I think it's Ferguson from Denver Ground Control just from today's games at 24 points. But right now, we have Wombo Combo jamming for Austin Anarchy up against Podlex. But Podlex started in the box.
So a little bit of potential penalty confusion. A forearm penalty being called on 35 for Mohawk Valley. That is unwired. I'm sorry, that is actually B. Shears.
Yes. And we see a cutting the track penalty assessed to Wombo Combo. So Podlex and Mohawk Valley, no, they were not gifted a power jam, a back block penalty was assessed to Poblex. So right now, Jammer Do-Si-Do in insubordination as well, perhaps for some interaction with the inside pack ref. But we'll see what happens. Wombo back to the track, coming in turn 3 behind that tentative pack, which very quickly moving. We're seeing Naked Alien really attack those links in the tripod presented from the Quad Fathers, and like magic, it disappears. Wombo through, eligible to score, first scoring trip in progress.
Wow, this jam is already over a minute and 15 seconds through. We've seen a bit of a revolving door for jammers in the penalty box now, but a Wombo combo, beautiful run up. He almost flew up the inside line there, picking up 4 points there. Poblex now emerging from the box. In fact, penalty box now empty for the first time this jam.
You gotta love it when Wombo takes flight. And Naked Alien's hip, able to catch, however, despite perhaps that being a worthy penalty, Naked Alien taking a seat due to illegal contact.
Wombo combo through on the inside will pick up 4 more points. That brings the total up to 8 thus far.
Oh, we have Wombo's mom. Oh, that's my baby boy, Wombo. Hi, Wombo's mom.
I mean,
Mambo is Wombo's mom.
I like it.
Really great to have you here joining us. Thank you.
So with that, we will have the first 2-minute jam of this game come to a conclusion. 4 up for the Quad Fathers, 8 for Austin Anarchy. So with this, we've got, I believe, the biggest score differential we have seen yet. So Quad Fathers at 25, Austin Anarchy 44. 12 minutes and 30 seconds remain to play. It'll be a 4-3 pack advantage in favor of the Quad Fathers. They've got the pivot for Austin Anarchy in the box. El Nino out there to jam for Austin Anarchy against Defunk for the Quad Fathers.
Naked Alien currently standing in the penalty box, and despite not having his pivot to start the jam, El Nino able to get out a secure lead for Anarchy. And we did have, while you were giving us the update on the score, we had that quick replay of Wombo taking flight. It was pretty sweet. But right now, even sweeter for the Quad Fathers, Defunk did escape the pack, but not so sweet. El Nino calls it after picking up 4. So Austin Anarchy sits at 48, a 23-point advantage to the Quad Fathers 25. And we are already past the first quarter of the game, as I see that there are under 12 minutes that remain in the first period.
Now, Banshee, I know that what we're seeing here is not what I would call calming down and settling, but I feel like that there's starting to be a bit of a coalescence happening here with the teams. Austin Anarchy starting to really find their stride. Quad Fathers struggling a little bit more with the penalties at this point.
Yes, and it sometimes teams tend to end up with that penalty stumbling block, but hopefully they figure it out before it's too late. And preventing them from moving on. But lead secured quickly by Chapin. We do see Naked Alien off to that penalty box. And Sharknado driven to the infield by the combo of El Majestic and B Shears. Cycle back the back stretch, and we are seeing we're seeing a couple of blockers there from Anarchy, specifically Vicious 818, putting in the shoulder backwards blocking against Chapin.
Oh, a beautiful duck out to the outside there by Sharknado will complete the initial pass for Austin Anarchy, which will, of course, force the call off by the Quad Fathers. Going to see 3 points put up on the board there by the Quad Fathers, bringing this down to a 20-point game. Penalty box sees a single blocker. I believe that is an Austin blocker. Yes, indeed it is. Yes. That is 132 airs a pound in there for the Austin Anarchy. Quad Fathers out at full strength. They will be sending out Housetar to jam. Housetar has been seeing a lot of success jamming for the Quad Fathers this weekend. Did a great job against Race City and Chicago yesterday.
Yes, the jam is on. In just a little bit of history, Ezra Pound used to be a Quad Father.
Oh.
So there's history here.
Too brute.
Yes. Well, people move around, we know. But speaking of moving, look at the movement from Unwired. They managed to loop Wombo combo out of bounds, but it was a misconduct for hitting a low block. Okay, a low block assessed to Unwired. They'll have a seat. The star has been passed to Curtis on Anarchy. We'll see. There was a jam called from the floor by Housetar. 4 points. Oh no, make it 7. Takes the Quad Fathers to 35 to Austin's 48.
So I think the Quad Fathers might have heard me saying like, oh, they're not quite solidifying quite as much as Austin Anarchy. And they're like, yeah, Rich, pay attention to the rest of the game, will you please?
I know, so much happening. And we're seeing a lot of fans out there. We've got Tatted619 rooting for Deb Crush. All the Deb Crush fans there. And Tot, I see you. I love everyone. Me too. But back to the track right now. It's Poblex versus Il Nino.
Ooh.
And oh my, B-Shears laying just perfect side body hit. So incredibly effective. But you notice, despite Il Nino taking flight briefly from that hit, he bounces right back in.
Oh, absolutely. These jammers wasting absolutely no time because there is so much on the line here. This tournament has been more or less double elimination. However, here in the final qualifier, though Austin Anarchy has gone undefeated this weekend, if they lose this game, that's it. No qualifications for chance for you.
No, but they still get placement here at the North American qualifier, which is fantastic. And our announcer crew will be giving the medals out at the end this evening, so I'm very excited. But what's even more exciting is Quad Fathers pick up 4 points by way of Poblex.
So this will be the third lead jam in a row for the Quad Fathers, really starting to turn around the momentum of this game. Previously, Austin Anarchy had a 4-lead jam streak with just a 1 break between that and 2 more leads.
And we had a star pass to Naked Alien, who just got bumped out in the front straightaway. Though B-Shears picks up a forearm call, knocks into Naked Alien as he's proceeding up the front stretch, pushing the pack into 1.5, able to break the pack despite the efforts of Unwired. Oh no, Unwired recycles. They do a great job though with it, and Naked Alien out and eligible to score now. A back block call assessed to Poblex. Power jam with Naked Alien ready to score.
Great opportunity here for the Austin Anarchy. Only 9 points separating these teams currently. Of course, that changes as the points go up. So this will be the second 2-minute jam of the game that we have seen.
Okay, tentative pack between turns 3 and 4 here. But the jam is called, and we have an official review that's been requested by the Anarchy.
Which gives us a moment to breathe and to thank our NSOs.
Yes, our non-skating officials. They are wonderful. The crew head NSO is TBD. No, that's not a typo. That's her name. Joined by Kinky Linky, Pam DeBear, Coconut Chanel, Veronica Scars, Fatal Exception, Miss Hyde, India Pale Ale, Dragon Harass. Oh, that's Dragon Harass. And Mia Culprit. So thanks again to all of our officials, whether on skates or off. Without you, we can't do what we do here.
So we'll bring you the details of this official review once it's brought to us by our illustrious alt referee.
Yes, and we did get, speaking of referees, we had a shout out to Demon Mistress on the outside. All right. So while we have a moment, we'd just like to thank 808 Roller Skate. We have 808 Roller Skate in the building, a Derby-owned and run business by Hijinks of Penn Jersey Roller Derby. And he's been here all weekend offering merch, I should say Derby gear and whatnot for purchase. But if you are not joining us, of course, check out 808rollerskate.com because you can always order online. So we're seeing that the chat is pretty active. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. It is a party in here. That's right. So we are glad to have everyone here. We got the moms, we got the friends. We've got all of the competition watching because everybody wants to know who is going to MRDA Championships in Denver, Colorado, October 11th through 13th, I believe, is the weekend.
You are correct. And wow, I still can't believe that we are down to 6 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the first half. We're in Jam 16 has just come to its conclusion. We've got this official review that we're waiting on the details. Our intrepid producer, Bobby Narco, is in the mix, ready to bring us the details once the officials have come to a conclusion.
Yes, we will hear what they're deliberating. And I love it because some of the things that are coming up in the chat, it looks like someone scoped out Pope in the audience, one of the swellest guys in men's derby, according to Bagelish. or Bagelche. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. I didn't mean to butcher it. But yes, Pope is in the audience. Also, the doppelganger for photographer Sean Hale. I know I had to do a double take myself.
So I'd like to take a moment here while we're waiting for this official review to talk a little bit about the paths that these teams took through the weekend to get here. Taking a look at Mohawk Valley, on Saturday they played 2 games. First, they played a game against Race City. They ended up coming out with the win there, 158-25. Then they played a very fierce, hard-hitting game against the Chicago Bruise Brothers, where they came away with the loss. So Chicago sending them through to the losers bracket. That was 109-45. And then earlier today, Mohawk Valley played one more game. They played a game against Philly to get here, where they took the win 132-111.
Yes, what an adventure it has been. I know we're very happy to be along for the ride.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, WEB destroys. Now that makes sense. There we go. Thank you.
So, taking a look at the path that Austin Anarchy has had, they've had a slightly shorter path as they won both of their games yesterday. Their first game was against the Philadelphia Hooligans. They won that one 188-99, and then they played an incredibly just tight, fast-paced game against the Denver Ground Control, where they pulled an upset in the last jam, 153-144.
Yes, that was an incredibly intense game. I love it. We've got the crowd in the house cheering everyone on.
Yeah, the crowd has really been activating this weekend, but particularly today in the last 3 games, you can just feel the energy. The teams that have been playing all weekend that have now taken their final loss, unfortunately their qualifier journey has come to an end as far as competition is concerned, but now they get to sit back, relax, have a few beverages, and cheer on the remaining competitors.
Exactly. They're having a blast, and I am here for it.
So this official review going on a little long here. We've got about 5 minutes having elapsed so far.
And we are seeing Judge Double Wapner, our head referee for this game, briefing the coach, well, I should say the alts and captains of each team of the decision. So we'll see what happens here, and we'll be happy to tell you. Oh, what do we have, Rich?
Well, so Austin Anarchy was looking for a skating out of bounds call on the black jammer towards the end of that jam. After review, they're not going to get that penalty. However, they are going to assess an insubordination call to the black jammer.
Oh.
So while Austin Anarchy will not retain their official review for this half, they will end up getting a jammer penalty out of it. So.
Well, it's still advantageous to Austin Anarchy.
Absolutely.
So we'll see how well it goes for them next.
Yep, and with only 6 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the half, while unfortunate to not be able to use that as an extra clock stoppage if you so desire, if the situation arises, still a great opportunity to go into Jam 17 in a power start.
And while we have the time, I just want to remind everyone that our last game of the event will take place at 7 p.m. Tonight, so that'll be game 12. And that's the pairing of Denver Ground Control versus the Chicago Bruise Brothers. This is one that's built quite a bit.
Oh, I was super excited for this one. I continue to be super excited
Most
here
definitely.
in the moment, but oh my, that next game will be one to watch as well. So it looks like we are now lining up for the next jam. Both teams have a full contingent of blockers. The Austin Anarchy sending up Sharknado to go in this power start.
So we are seeing the lineup awaiting the initiation of the jammer making contact to Mohawk Valley before any additional action taken by Anarchy's blockers. But everyone in the backstretch now looks like shifting back and forth, but Sharknado able to get through, lead to his credit, about 19 seconds in. And right now we have Anarchy in turn 3, and in 3.5, the Quad Fathers set up, but going around the outside, B-Shears knocks Sharknado out of bounds. Oh, he calls the jam, able to ice Poblex in the box, so it'll be a brief, but, you know, wonderful, I guess, for them if they can make the most of it. Power start, and Wombo Combo getting ready with the star.
Well, we have not seen a whole lot of long-running jams before we've had that lead jammer designated. So even just a momentary power start can be huge for these teams playing at this level. We are going to see number 3 Wombo Combo heading up for Austin Anarchy to start in this power start.
Thank you, Boom Smiles in the chat. Husband, shark, do. And now everybody else is going to have it stuck in their head, too. You're welcome.
Hey, I've actually never seen the video, never heard the song, so I see the words, hear the things. It doesn't get stuck.
Oh, see, I have friends with little ones, so I was subject to it. However, I'm able to escape it because I don't have any little ones. So, but, you know, bless those parents for sure. But right now, speaking of someone's son, Mambo's son, it's Wombo Combo coming around the outside, making it look easy with some Gumby moves in turn 3. But 4 points to Wombo's credit. And right now, Poblex caught up, but passes the star to El Majestic. In turn 3, Majestic is out on his first scoring trip, though not able to get any points because of a quick call up from Anarchy. We have a replay of this. Check it out. We're seeing that star pass right over the link of Anarchy's blockers. We're seeing T-Rex. T-Rex was holding it down, but Poblex goes for the reach.
So we are about ready to get into jam number 19.
Oh, yes, and we can see in the distance, too. We see Wombo. Sorry about that.
Quite all right. So that ended up being 6 points up for Austin Anarchy. Score now stands at Quad Fathers 43, Austin Anarchy 59. As we get into jam 19, 4 minutes and 10 seconds remain to play.
El Nino versus Defunk off the jammer line, and we do have a nice empty penalty box, and I know that's risky for me to say,
yeah,
but
what you done, Banshee? What you done?
You know what? These things happen. But right now, both jammers still stuck in the pack until El Nino able to slice through the pack diagonally, gets by on the turn 1 apex, lead to his credit. But right now, the pack still working on Defunk. We're seeing Vicious and Naked Alien doing their best, but not enough to hold Defunk. And Naked Alien will have to check the penalty count because he's had several trips to the penalty box, and we're not even through the first period. There's a high block recently assessed. Will confirm who to. I see someone headed to the box, but there's a little bit of a, oh, okay.
It was number 10, Amanda Chapin.
Oh, for Chapin, okay.
Heading to the box on that call. It was a high block.
Thank you. You know how it is.
Our eagle-eyed Bobby Narco.
Thank you, Bobby. Where we're positioned, and I know for some of you watching all weekend, you're familiar. We have the benches for each team with the penalty box in the middle. So, of course, bench staff and on-deck skaters sometimes block the path of vision. But right now, Deb Crush cycled back to the jammer line, fighting against Anarchy on this power start. Though we do have El Nino standing in the box, but Deb Crush securing lead, and I believe that is likely the first lead in a few jams anyway for Mohawk Valley for 3.
Yep, that's a 3-lead jam streak now broken for the Quad Fathers, or the streak was for Anarchy. Quad Fathers broke it. So we've got El Nino back on the track looking to complete the initial pass here. Deb Crush giving orders to the defenders. Track cut assessed to number 6 for
Salkowski.
Good catch.
That's all right. I saw him. And yes, he is back. He had 1 game off. And we see El Nino through, though no points for Anarchy on this jam. 4 points picked up by the Quad Fathers. They sit at 47. Anarchy sits at 63. And we have just under 2 minutes remaining on the period clock. But look at this. El Nino up the outside, but we have Deb Crush. Yeah. I'm watching that. Seeing Deb Crush caught up on T-Rex and company, though going right up the outside and caught on that hip of Naked Alien.
Getting
Thanks,
into this
Chad.
next jam, going to be a 3-2 pack advantage in favor of the Austin Anarchy. Sharknado jamming for them. However, it's going to be Housestar out to take lead for the Quad Fathers. Pack torn asunder by Sharknado's forward momentum. Now will get through, eligible to score points. Beautifully done there by Housestar. picks up 4 points, calls off the jam, getting a little sassy. Oh, yeah.
Housestar was feeling that. He did a little happy dance.
Oh,
Yeah. I support it.
I have been loving Housestar's attitude in addition to skating all weekend long. Even in the last game they skated in, they were actually not the last game, it was the Chicago game. And in that game, he ended up fouling out as a jammer. However, as he was going out and his foul out, he was yelling at his bench, just like, come on, yeah, bring it up, guys, woo! He was like, as he's fouling out, bringing the energy up for the team. It was beautiful.
You know what? The power positivity compels them, and I think that's a great thing. It's definitely made a difference today. Wombo Combo securing lead for Anarchy. And we're seeing, of course, because Housestar ended up in the penalty box at Jam's End. I didn't catch the penalty because it was assessed after the fact. Oh, back block. Thank you, Bobby Narco. And right now, we are seeing a penalty assessed to Wombo Combo.
So that'll be the first time that Austin Anarchy has lost lead jam due to a jammer penalty. The second time this has happened all game. That happened in jam 14.
And we're seeing as Housestar came back to the pack in the back stretch and emerging from that pack, we see Curtis off to the penalty box due to a direction of gameplay penalty. Right now, Wombo Combo standing in the penalty box. Housestar still in the pack. We have Naked Alien and company. Oh, number 8, that's Doc, working to burn some seconds down. They do a few, however, Housestar eligible to score right now, so we'll see if there's any progress on that trip. But Naked Alien with the hip hit during the leap from Housestar, but we see it was a blocking out of bounds penalty assessed to Naked Alien. So again, we're going to have to check on that. Let's see here. Oof.
Penalty box finally starting to empty out. Austin Anarchy being able to put their defense back together will maybe be able to stymie the forward momentum of Housestar. Housestar crashing into Austin Anarchy will earn a back block for that. So 30 seconds to the box to think about what he's done.
Yes, so right now not only is the jammer from the Quad Fathers having a seat, the pivot is there as well. So right now, a definite advantage for Anarchy, but we'll have to see what's going on. And Cholarola, I know you had the question, is this the first time they've had this ref crew? There are 2 crews of referees this weekend, so they've been rotating throughout. So at some point, both teams have experienced this crew.
So with that, we are already at our halftime. Score at the half sits at Quad Fathers 55. 10 points in the lead are Austin Anarchy with 65. Oh.
Yes, I know. And Rich and I will be back shortly. We will check on the penalty counts because I know many of us are curious specifically about Naked Alien. But first, New England Roller Derby Report would like to thank their production sponsor, Sociopath. Sociopath is a skater-run business offering custom sewn-to-order legwear for teams and individuals. Size-inclusive activewear designed to fit you. Sociopath also offers dozens of armbands and helmet cover options for scrimmage and competition. Team discounts are available. Please see sociopath.ca for more details. And again, that's SEWCIOPATH.ca as in Canada. We'll be back in about 10 minutes or so to bring you the conclusion of Mohawk Valley Roller Derby's Quad Fathers and Austin Anarchy. Welcome back to game 11 of the 2019 MRDA North American Qualifiers, live from Rome, New York. We are at the Kennedy Arena. I'm Beautiful Banshee.
I'm Rich Mahogany, and we are watching this qualifying game between Mohawk Valley Roller Derby's the Quad Fathers and the Austin Anarchy. Currently a 10-point game, 55 for the Quad Fathers, 65 for the Austin Anarchy. Let's talk about penalties.
Oh, yes. Okay, the biggest concern, at least from our fans on twitch.tv/nerdderby, which thank you again for joining us for this high-quality, free broadcast brought to you by New England Roller Derby Report and Chad Newt, because New England Roller Derby Report is fabulous. Make sure you subscribe. You can do so for free through your Amazon Prime subscription. Just a heads up. Check out the MooBot instructions. They will appear numerous times throughout the broadcast. But I know many of you out in Twitch TV land were curious about number 51 on Austin Anarchy, Naked Alien. Currently, he has 5 penalties at the end of period 1. So, of course, something for Anarchy's coaching staff to be ever cognizant of, because they don't want to lose Naked Alien early on. Otherwise, we have on Mohawk Valley Roller Derby, before I get there, sorry, everyone on Austin Anarchy otherwise has a penalty count of 3 or less. Now, for Mohawk Valley Roller Derby, slightly different story. There are 3 skaters who are getting close to the limit. The first being Poblex, number 5. He has 6 penalties at halftime. So, of course, being a jammer, who's been incredibly effective, I might add.
Indeed.
This is going to be crucial. They have to play it smart if he's going to be fielded or if they're going to rest him. Also, so he's at 6. Dylan Shears is at 5 penalties at halftime, and Brendan Shears is at 4. So those are the highest penalty counts on the Quad Fathers. Everyone else has 3 or less. We'll be getting back to playtime in just under a minute. We're seeing the teams prepared and focused.
So to expand a little bit more on the penalty situation from the first half, for a grand total for jammer penalties, Quad Fathers have seen 6 jammer penalties assessed in the first half.
I'm sorry, Rich. We had twerking happening on the track from T-Rex of Austin Anarchy. I just had to bring that to everyone's attention.
I thought I was feeling a little shaken.
Yes, you were a little shaken, not stirred. Yes, but carry on. I'm so sorry.
Oh, quite all right. Over on the Austin Anarchy side of things, they have seen 4 jammer penalties assessed. There have been a total, so the leads are actually very close. Lead jam, we have seen 10 leads taken by the Quad Fathers, 12 for the Austin Anarchy. We've seen a single star pass done on the side of the Quad Fathers and 2 over on the side of Austin Anarchy. Thank you very much to our producer, Bobby Narco, for all of the amazing statistics.
We appreciate you.
And we are back into it.
Yes, we are. We've got Housetar jamming for the Quad Fathers up against Sharknado. And, of course, Housetar was starting in the box, seated because of the penalty prior, which was a back block. So lead secured by Sharknado. And we're seeing that penalty box empty out. Housetar has stashed the star to distract the defense from Austin Anarchy. However, currently being held by a cube of Anarchy blockers. Right now at the front, Sharknado working it out, caught up on El Majestic and Zalkowski. But we'll see if he's able to break it on up. Housetar escapes, though is not lead because the star was not on his head. And, of course, already secured by Sharknado. 4 points put up by Austin Anarchy. Sharknado, 0 points for Mohawk.
That will bring our score to Quad Fathers 55, Austin Anarchy 69. Nice.
You're so funny. I was just going to say Bill and Ted's favorite number. There we go. But you know what else is a great number? 3 in multiples. We have number 33, Unwired. They are jamming for the first time in this game for the Quad Fathers, though we've seen them play in prior games as a jammer and a clutch pivot, though it is Il Nino of Austin Anarchy securing lead early.
That number 303.
Mambo says that T-Rex is a twerking fool.
I think you're a fool to not twerk.
Yes. Twerk it if you got it. But in that back stretch, the pack extending back, driving back El Nino. But we're going to see 3 points for Anarchy, 0 for the Quad Fathers on that. So 72 for Austin and 55 for the Quad Fathers. Just 2 minutes in, barely 2 minutes in to period 2. I know, Mambo, what's not to love about T-Rex? You know? But speaking of what's not to love, we have Defunk wearing the star from Mohawk Valley up against Wombo Combo. And currently a 4-3 pack advantage because of Salkowski starting in the box, though he quickly returns. He was standing.
So with that, we've got 80 wheels ablazing away on the flat track. Lead jam has been assessed to Wombo Combo. However, knocked to the outside, forced to recycle all the way back behind the jammer line by Joliet Jane. And you know what? Wombo says, I don't really need any of that in my life. I'm going to call the jam.
Yeah, sometimes you just go, nah, I'm good.
So I believe that will be the first 0-0 jam. And yes, Bobby Narco confirms that the feeling I had deep within my guts was correct. First
always trust your gut. I always say that. It's great life advice and also mostly in Derby too. But yes, who is on the mic? Well, this is Beautiful Banshee. How's it going, Slander Panic? And I am with
Rich Mahogany. Thank you very much for asking. We hope you are enjoying this game as much as we are enjoying talking about it, though I have to admit, that is a tall order.
Yes, and Deb Crush to the penalty box, having a seat. Looks like a high block assessed to El Nino, so it'll be a power jam in favor of Chapin, who just secured lead, calls it off, and ices El Nino in the penalty box. And it was back-to-back scoreless jams for Anarchy.
So it looks like that call-off may not have been what the doctor ordered there. Chapin taking a little, like getting to the bench, be like, oh no, I wasn't. Oh.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw his face, and he went, oh no, why? But you know what? It is a power start for the Quad Fathers, so all is well. And Housestar with the star, and he's moving and grooving while he waits for the first whistle, and it's on. Jam in progress, meeting that wall of Anarchy, including Naked Alien. So we'll see what they have in store here, because the pack is ever recycling and being pushed by Housestar into the backstretch. We see Vicious to the penalty box on a direction of gameplay. Housestar securing lead. Deb Crush returning from the penalty box. So Housestar has a pivot just in case.
Housestar now coming in, trying to re-engage the pack, getting some offensive help there by Deb Crush. Almost breaks Housestar free, however, into the infield he falls. Will be forced to recycle back to the bottom of turn 3.
And Deb Crush, really just a pivotal piece, and I don't mean that pun-wise. I really didn't. To the defense, and I will say she's just so incredibly strong. Folks might underestimate a person's size in roller derby, but she has proved don't do it. Now, the reason for that, she's just incredibly strong, a great athlete, not just in derby. She plays for Uticuse rugby. So she's got a couple of sports going on, and not to mention, she's, gets in the gym with the fitness. I believe she's a personal trainer too.
So Missy Mayhem 75 from the chat, to answer your question, what was Nino's penalty? That was a high block. But now both jammers on the track, ready to go for jam number 6 of the second half. It's going to be Sharknado taking lead for Austin Anarchy, skating up against Unwired for the Quad Fathers. And
a full line of blockers now that Vicious has returned from the penalty box for Anarchy. Right now we have B Shears standing in the penalty box, so will be released soon and returning to a line of 4 blockers for Mohawk Valley.
Sharknado through for 4 points. Chapin still working on the initial pass, having received the star from Unwired. So star now in hand for Chapin.
And we see a direction of gameplay penalty assessed to Anarchy's pivot. That's Curtis.
After being taken to the outside, we are going to have the jam called off by Sharknado. 2 points picked up on that pass will bring the score to 6 total for the jam for Austin Anarchy. 0 points picked up by the Quad Fathers.
So just a 19-point game, 78 Austin, 59 Quad Fathers. Texas representation is strong in the Twitch.tv chat. And I know that there was a question on the Denver and race score. We'll get that for you shortly. We do have it in our bracket, so we'll keep you posted. But right now, Wombo Combo and Defunct diving into the pack. We're seeing all of the links being attacked. We'll see who emerges first. But right now, a lot of line work coming from each team. Oh, thank you, WEB Destroys. That was 159 for Denver, Race City 104 on that prior game. But back to what we have in front of us. Wombo Combo cycled back in the front stretch, facing that tripod. It is B-Shears at the helm as the brace. And we're seeing Salkowski. And I can't tell from here just because limited field of vision at the moment, some folks in the way, but there is a very strong tripod happening. But meanwhile, a terrible twosome of Vicious and Naked Alien at the front of the pack working on Defunct. Can't fake Defunct, that's for sure, but Wombo Combo through on 1 foot, spinning back to the track, lead to his credit.
Will go out of bounds, but on a no pass, no penalty, will be allowed to continue. Calls off the jam. That'll bring us yet another scoreless jam. Goose Eggs here keeps our score at Quadfathers 59, Austin Anarchy 78. 22 minutes remaining to play.
All right, setting on up. Let's see. For the blockers on Mohawk Valley, they've decided to take the jammer line. We've got Deb Crush, Oxenfree, B. Shears, and Amanda Chapin. They initially took the jammer line, but then decided to take the front in hopes to cap and contain El Nino. We are seeing Chapin being taken back and booty bumped by Sparks, a.k.a. Curtis, but it was an illegal contact penalty just outside that engagement zone, so Curtis having a seat.
And it looked like as soon as that contact happened, Curtis was well aware, like, that was wrong.
A high block assessed to El Nino having a seat, so now it is a power jam for Mohawk Valley and Chapin. But just prior, we saw the drawback from just a redonkulous hit. It was incredible coming from T-Rex taking down Chapin, but right now a tripod of Anarchy dropped to a duo working to contain Chapin in turn 1. We're seeing lots of activity, but Chapin is out, lead to his credits.
So El Nino in the box for a high block. That'll actually be the second high block of the half that he's picked up, and will be both times the last 2 times he's been out to jam has picked up that high block penalty.
That's the thing, got to be very careful, especially if there are any repetitive penalties. Right now, we saw a good hip catch there. That was coming from 0-3 Party McFly. Looks like an additional penalty. Oh, that was legal contact assessed to B. Shares. And let's see what we have. Party McFly and T-Rex at the front of the pack. They were catching Oxenfree. Whistle was blown. 6-0 unanswered points for the Quadfathers. Narrowing that score gap to 13. They're at 65. Austin Anarchy remains at 78.
So Anarchy has picked up 5 lead jams in this half. Quadfathers having picked up only 3 thus far. And we've got a team timeout now being called for by the Quadfathers. A wise decision, if I do say so myself.
Yes, sometimes you just need to take a few seconds and breathe in these scenarios because everyone so easily gets caught up, ourselves included. And yes, Bujitsu, which I am in love with that name, Redonkulous, you know it. So we're seeing all of the fans here, lots of Anarchy representation, but I know there's plenty of Mohawk Valley as well. We have many Mohawk Valley fans in the house too. And Sassy Kaboom there saying, go Q Daddy.
So I'm just going to put on my Bobby Narco hat real quick to lay a little bit of an Easter egg of knowledge on you. Ooh. Both of these scores, 65 and 78, divisible by 13, and there is a 5-to-6 ratio in the score right now.
All of the math. Thank you, Bobby. And that hat is amazing. So, friends, I'm just going to tell you, yesterday when I saw Bobby Narco first thing in the morning, he walks in with this hat. How would you describe the hat, Bobby? It's a skimmer. I saw it and I said, wow, are we going to have a barbershop quartet? And I didn't mean it in an insulting way. It was just really cute. But it looks more beachy now that I'm up close.
I would absolutely love to have one of those hats and take part in a barbershop quartet involving Bobby Narco. All right, so with this, we are lined up for jam number 9. It's going to be House Tar jamming for the Quadfathers up against Sharknado for Austin Anarchy.
Seeing Salkowski to the penalty box. It appears to have been a forearm call, and seeing a cutting the track penalty. I'm sorry, I didn't see who went to the box. I know it was a member of Anarchy, though we have speed picking up right now. Vicious and Juliet Jane at the front with Naked Alien. Jam is called a goose egg jam, so 0 for each. Also, hello to Hazenberg. I did see a quick note in the twitch.tv/nerdderby chat saying hello to Rich and Bobby and myself. So thank you for that.
Well, and while we're giving love to announcers who have been giving the announcers love in the stream chat, I also saw some love fly by there from Johnny Pepper. I thought things were feeling extra spicy in here.
They are. Yow! And Johnny Pepper, you know, he's a gem.
Oh,
I just have to say, but that's
one
just
of the best.
My personal opinion. Unwired, also a gem for Mohawk Valley, securing. No, not securing lead, but that would be Wombo Combo, but Unwired, they are jamming for Mohawk, and right now we're seeing Ezra Pound released from the penalty box. Defunk currently seated as pivot for the Quadfathers. And the jam is over. Doesn't appear to have any points yielded for either side, so is that back-to-back scoreless jams?
It will indeed be.
Ooh.
And so that is 4 jams in a row that Austin Anarchy have been held scoreless. And so only the last 2 jams have the Quadfathers been scoreless. So last time we saw back-to-back scoreless jams in this half were jams 3 and 4.
We have 303 versus 603 off the line. That's right, 603 in black. That would be House Tar from the Quadfathers up against El Nino, who does secure lead early on. And in turn 1, we're seeing everyone put the brakes on, but that would be because House Tar stashed the star, pushing the pack into turn 2, but right now quickly cycling Anarchy's defense at the front, and a little bit of a pileup right behind them. So we'll see what happens, but 4 points as El Nino escapes.
House still working on the initial pass. So something that Mohawk Valley is so good at is inserting themselves into the walls of the opposing team.
Yes.
However, Austin Anarchy have been doing a great job adapting to this, breaking off and just doing some pair blocking. And here we have a star pass
to Defunk. Yeah. I would like to say, no, I didn't see that coming, but I was thinking while he was sitting in the penalty box at Jam's start that, maybe they'll pass the star to Defunk once the lead was secured by Anarchy, but who knows? No points, though, for Defunk on that, so 8-0 for Anarchy on the jam, 86-65. 13 minutes into period 2.
Those will be the first points put up by either team in the last 3 minutes of gameplay. And we go down to the line. We've got 35s all the way across. It's number 35 out there for Austin Anarchy, Sharknado, going up against 35 for the Quadfathers, B. Shears.
So according to La Lakin, Sharknado is a speed skater and a badass one at that. So thank you for the knowledge bomb. We're seeing a cutting the track penalty assessed, and that would be upon Sharknado. So power jam for B. Shears. Oh, a cutting the track penalty on Party McFly as well. So down a blocker or 2. Oh, that make it 2. There were 2 blockers from Anarchy still on the track who were driven down by B. Shears as he broke through. 4 points for him.
So speaking of 2s, this jam will go for the full 2 minutes. B. Shears putting on the brakes, approaching the remaining 2 blockers of the Austin Anarchy at the front of the pack. These jammers are just so frenetic. It's exhausting to watch. It's incredible that they've been able to, like, Mohawk has played 2 games. This is their second game
It's true. Though I will say, a credit to both teams. They each have some strong World Cup representation. I think it's pretty well known that B. Shears is a member of Team USA and played in Barcelona at the last Men's Roller Derby World Cup. However, there is a larger World Cup representation on Austin Anarchy. Alien, Poblex, and Vicious represented for Team Mexico at the Men's Roller Derby World Cup. And I do remember that. I was lucky enough to watch some of those games in Barcelona live. So it's fantastic to see the representation across the MRDA, to see, for everyone who is making that contribution to the sport worldwide.
Oh, absolutely. Getting back to the action on the track, Sharknado forced to recycle on the outside. We've got B. Shears up at the front, taken down as the jam comes to its natural 2-minute conclusion. And this will actually be our first jam of the game where no lead jam was awarded.
And just a quick correction, yes, I am aware and sorry, caught up in the action and the information. Poblex is on Mohawk Valley. So there are 2 World Cup skaters just from 2 different teams, Mexico and USA, on Mohawk Valley. And otherwise 2 skaters, being Alien and Vicious, on Anarchy. So thanks for that. So yes, and I am aware Rivera on Denver does play for Team Puerto Rico, though we'll leave that knowledge bomb for the next game. Thanks for that, though. And quite the score there. We're seeing the highest scoring jam in the game.
That's
Am I
right.
correct?
Yep.
For Mohawk Valley or overall, Bobby?
Both.
Overall, okay.
Previously, the highest scoring jam we had seen was 8 points, and by either team. So Quad Fathers now beating that out for both of these teams. So Austin Anarchy yet to score more than 8 points in a single jam. Very close, though.
Well, I think this has been the trend today, or at least in the latest games of the day. The last game, we saw just those small builds. So it was 4 points at a time, 8 points at a time. I think they ended up with maybe 1 higher scoring jam. That was like a 15 to 18 or something.
Yeah, I believe there was a 20-point
Oh, there
jam.
was 120.
There was
okay.
that was the one where, but after that, it pulled back into, no, we're only seeing 1 and 2 scoring passes.
Oh, yes. So, this way, we're able to, make sure everybody has all of the things. It's great. And seeing a couple of other fun facts.
But we are back into the action. El Nino out to take lead jam for Austin Anarchy. Unwired is jamming for the Quad Fathers. They have now gotten through the pack, looking to score some points. Penalty box has now emptied out. Austin Anarchy started with a 3-4 pack disadvantage. Quick call off here. Austin Anarchy will pick up 2 points on that jam. Quad
Just
Fathers
2.
held to 0.
Just 2, but those 2 count. So they're at 95 to 77 right now.
And just like that, we are into the final quarter of this game. Just under 14 minutes remain to play. Austin Anarchy leads with 95. Quad Fathers at 77. We will have both teams at full strength as we go into Jam 14 of the second half. Seeing number 3, Wombo Combo, going up against Defunk for the Quad Fathers.
All right, and we're seeing Defunk go to the same side as Wombo Combo. Wombo Combo knocks Poblex to the infield, though, picks up a forearm call. So it's a power jam in favor of Defunk and the Quad Fathers.
Looks like that's actually going to be 2 penalties on Wombo Combo.
Oh,
I believe that was an in-sub. Yeah, he was not looking very happy on the way to the box.
Nobody ever is.
No, and that's actually something that's been plaguing these teams a little bit throughout the weekend. We've seen a number of folks getting penalties and either skating on the track too long on their way to the box or grousing about the penalty on their way and earning themselves a full minute, and that helps nobody but your opponent.
How very true. Rufo to the penalty box for Mohawk Valley. So a 4-3 pack advantage for Anarchy at current. Oh, okay, so we have the first lead jam for the Quad Fathers since Jam 8 of period 2. And at Jam's end, we have 4 points for the Quad Fathers. That takes them to 81, so just 14 points behind Anarchy, sitting at 95. And under 12 and a half minutes remaining in the game.
Still keeping things nice and close here. 14 points separating these teams with 12 minutes and 15 seconds remaining to play. Will be a power start here for the Quad Fathers, and they're going to send out number 43, Chapin, to start in this jam.
Yes, Chapin, a key to the jammer stable. I've seen plenty of play from him this season for the Quad Fathers. Lucky enough to have been here for the Mohawk Valley Cup, which they actually won this year for the first time. So right now the pack extending from turn 2 into the back stretch, and Fuerza Brutal along with Oxenfree and Deb Crush working to detain Wombo Combo. But he's able to finagle around, picks up lead.
Very well done, picking up the lead jam after starting the jam from the box. Nice juke to the outside. Wombo Combo really putting on the afterburners here, picking up 4 points, flying around the track, already in scoring position for the next pass.
So Anarchy regroups at the front of the pack, working on Chapin, driving him to the infield. But let's see what happens here. Naked Alien with the bump out in turn 1, one-footed no less. And Chapin being driven back to jammer line territory while Wombo Combo comes up the inside line.
Wombo Combo absolutely on fire here, has now picked up 12 points. That will be the biggest jam thus far for Austin Anarchy, tying the highest score of the game for the Quad Fathers. We'll see here, Wombo Combo trying to call off the jam, will get the call off, picks up 2 points, making this the biggest jam of the game for either team. 14 points picked up by Austin Anarchy, going unanswered this jam by the Quad Fathers.
Yes, and I know folks are excited because Anarchy broke the 100-point mark, so sitting 109 to 81. Unwired taking the star up against Sharknado.
Penalty box is empty here going into jam at 16 of the second half. Slow start here. We'll see Sharknado bumping Unwired to the outside. However, that was a back block penalty. So off to the penalty box he goes. Unwired now on the power jam.
Yes, and Unwired ending up on the floor right around the pivot line. However, they're able to get back up, get by on the turn 1 apex, lead to their credit, and we see Dylan Shears to the penalty box. I didn't catch the call, but he'll have a seat. And right now, Sharknado standing in the penalty box, and T-Rex going for the hit along with Party McFly, hoping to slow down Unwired to no avail. 4 points for Unwired and the Quad Fathers. All right, we are seeing Sharknado back to the track, working up against El Majestic and company. Now eligible to score. We'll see what Unwired does with this, if they will see the bench yielding the call, and they are. So jam is called, no points for Anarchy on that. Let's see how many for Unwired. Let's see, 8 in total. I'm just double checking here. We had 6, but it shows 2 more picked up. Oh, we're gonna go with 6 right now. So they sit at 87 points. Austin Anarchy at 109. We have an official timeout in progress.
So I gotta tell you, that's a great opportunity to say, in the first half, Quad Fathers had picked up 6 jammer penalties. Thus far in this half, none.
Okay.
On the other side, though, Austin Anarchy has picked up 5 jammer penalties this half, so still maintaining the lead, but things are starting to get a little dicey out there. Quad Fathers behind, down, but absolutely not out. The clock is frozen at 8 minutes and 53 seconds. Score stands at Quad Fathers 87, Austin Anarchy 109.
Yes, we know how it goes at this point in the game. Everyone knows exactly what's at risk. You know, in it to win it, they want to just put everything they've got out there in order to, you know, really leap ahead and be able to qualify for champs. So we'll see who it is that will emerge victorious. We'll know sooner than later.
Oh, I can barely wait.
You know, as Dr. Frankenfurter and Rocky Horror says, I see you shiver with anticipation.
But maybe the rain isn't really to blame.
Maybe not. It's, you know, was it not the cause? Well, treat the cause, not the symptom. Yeah. Yeah, that's not exactly word for word, but I tried.
So we are back into the action. Oh, my
for
pleasure.
Indulging my Rocky Horror Theater nerd.
Thank you for laying down some Rocky Horror. I called a game recently where I laid down a reference that nobody got, and it made me sad.
Oh, that's sad. But no, it's not sad. Yeah. Right on the track right now, the jam is on. Il Nino versus Housetar. A cutting the track penalty assessed to Housetar. So he'll have a seat, and we see Il Nino with lead. And the pack slowing down a bit. Dylan Shears to the penalty box.
Skating straight off, though.
2.
Will pick up the in-sub.
It was a low block and then the in-sub.
So that you gotta, as soon as you get that penalty, just take a 90-degree path off that track. Coming around, though, gonna be Il Nino picking up 4 points.
Fuerza Brutal getting back to the track, running all the way back to turn 3 in hopes to catch Il Nino, who spins from the momentum given. from Poblex, and oh, that slide that came from a hip hit as El Nino powers past Poblex. It's like, hey teammate, what's up?
Absolutely beautiful, being prepared for that block from Poblex. So El Nino just plows right through, stays in bounds. A glorious play there. So now El Nino back up at the front of the pack, has 3 to beat. Similar situation at the back, though. Housestar starting to tear apart this Austin Anarchy defense. Track cut is assessed.
That goes to Juliet Jane, and then we see a cutting the track penalty. Yes, assessed to Housestar right at Jam's end. So we'll see what happens here. It is the highest scoring Jam. No. The high score right now for the second half. Thanks to Bobby. I apologize for the misstep. Let's see here.
That is the highest
15.
score of the game now.
It is.
15 points.
Now that we had the update, we're waiting.
Yep, beating out 14 from 2 jams ago.
Yes, we have an official timeout right now, so we'll keep everything updated shortly.
We can have a chance to breathe.
Yes. WEB Destroys just noted that someone just fouled out, but he didn't catch who. In this particular case, we did observe that it was D. Shears. So Dylan Shears did accrue a total of 7 penalties. And yes, Sir Nix-a-lot, you were correct. But I do love the exclamation of "Damn, Nino." I don't know. It makes me think of the Friday meme. You get Chris Tucker and Ice Cube sitting there with a little side lean going, "Damn, Nino." But yes, seeing all sorts of great things happening. And on both sides here, because a lot of power for the Quad Fathers. I mean, just even, I can't help it, the slide as Nino came through the pack and Poblex and him squared off. It was great.
We've got a replay here. There it is.
Yeah.
Big shout out.
Can we get it one more time? Does it allow? There we go. And the hit, but bam. Okay, this is the thing. There are some skaters who are so incredibly solid that even when you hit them, because they either have such a great handle on their edges or their center of gravity, people just bounce off.
All right, so our official timeout has come to a conclusion. We are ready to get back into the action. Will be a power start here for Austin Anarchy. They're sending up number 3, Wombo Combo. Housestar starting from the box for for the Quad Fathers. Single blocker in the box for both teams, though Poblex for the Quad Fathers quickly back on the track.
And don't forget, friends, if you have an Amazon Prime subscription, there is one Twitch.tv channel subscription included at no additional cost to you. So make sure you support New England Roller Derby Report if you enjoy this high-quality, free broadcast this weekend from the North American qualifier from the Men's Roller Derby Association. And we thank Chad with New England Roller Derby Report once again, because this is a pretty sweet view. So speaking of view, right now we see Austin Anarchy's blocking staff at the front holding Housestar, but Housestar is through. Holding up one finger thinking he scored a point, perhaps? I'm not sure. I don't know. We see one, but no, that was just the initial.
I was like, okay. Well, and I love it. Gives the finger guns to the to his jam route. Like, no, I get you.
It's
we're
like
good,
a little
we're good.
pow. I get what you're putting down.
Yeah, I just and I am picking up on the energy that he is putting down. Absolutely loving the Housestar action all weekend long.
Yes, and right now we've got Defunk wearing the star once again for Quad Fathers and Sharknado repping Anarchy.
So it'll be the 6th scoreless jam of the half, I believe.
Yes. Okay, Doc returning to the track, and Salkowski picking up a direction to gameplay penalty, having a seat. Lead secured by Anarchy. And in turn 2, we've got a little bit of shifting, some line work. Quad Fathers defense, well, I should say, yes, their defense trying to provide a distraction. And then, here we go, we've got a jammer. Sharknado appears. Poblex with the run back along with El Majestic.
The Funk trying to get nice and low to break through this brace 2 wall of Austin Anarchy. Penalty is called on Austin Anarchy blocker.
Okay, and now we did see the star stash from Defunk. I'm wondering if the pass, there we go, the sneaky pass, just handed off to El Majestic. Anarchy, let's see if they're aware of it yet. I'm not quite sure. Either way, Sharknado coming right around the outside. Ezra Pound playing a little low. We have a direction gameplay assist to, not sure.
Well, whether or not that Austin Anarchy was aware of that star pass, they certainly are now. El Majestic dons the star, activating his jammer powers, will force the call off.
All of a sudden, you want it to be like Super Mario, the star. It's like jammer power. Ka-ching, ka-ching.
All right, so we do have a team timeout now being called for by the Quad Fathers.
Rich, we've got someone watching from Tokyo.
Oh,
J-Pop Toasted says, thanks to this, I can support Anarchy from Tokyo. Well, thank you. Yes, J-Pop, the real MVP here. We appreciate you. Chad just asked, why did you go all the way to Tokyo to watch? Clearly that was not the priority. There's something else happening in Tokyo, Chad.
I think it's because they could, thanks to Chad and Nerd Derby.
Exactly. Bringing quality broadcast to the masses.
As soon as they found out, hey, it's going to be broadcast, I can go and not worry.
Oh, and just to fill you in, that penalty that I saw, it was Naked Alien, but I believe he went to sit at his bench because I don't know. No. Oh, okay. He is in the penalty box now. For a second, I looked, and the way everything lined up, it blended together. It's been a long day, friends. Sorry.
Skaters make better walls than windows, and that's what they're out to do here in Jam 20. We've got the score, Quad Fathers 87 to 132 in favor of Austin Anarchy. Unwired out there jamming for the Quad Fathers. El Nino jamming.
We just had the ultimate awkward blocker sandwich happening with El Nino stuck right in the middle. And we saw Unwired get right up behind him, everybody getting crushed in there. However, El Nino found a way to escape. Unwired, they're right on El Nino's heels. So the pack playing the speed game right now. Vicious and Naked Alien working to distract the Quad Father defense. But what's up here? 2 points.
Yep, Austin Anarchy picking up 1 point, but the Quad Fathers winning the jam with 2 despite not having lead. Speaking of lead, Austin Anarchy has managed to pick it up in the last 4 jams.
So 133 to 89 currently. We have just about 3 minutes left in the game. Wow.
So will Wombo Combo extend the combo of leads for the Quad Fathers, or will Poblex be the combo breaker?
Oh, someone is praying to a Naked Alien candle. Oh, we got some novena. There you go. I mean, they have Golden Girls candles like that, so why not a Naked Alien one? I'm not sure. That's right, Mike Honcho, no shaming. But right now, Poblex, lead to his credit, breaks free, and what is happening here? Wombo Combo has stashed the star, but El Majestic and B-Shears driving him to the outside in that backstretch. Poblex also getting knocked out once he gets into turn 2. Both cycled back to 1.5 for Poblex, but Star Pass has occurred to Naked Alien, so perhaps that candle prayer worked. Who knows? But let's see. Poblex sees Naked Alien emerging to the pack, calls it off.
So that with 3 points. 3 points, that will break a 4-jam score drought for the Quad Fathers. They will now use their final team timeout. They do still have a single clock stoppage at their disposal in the way of their official review. So all the star passes here that Austin has done throughout the game, all 3 of them, have gone over to number 51. And who's that 51 again? I don't remember.
One, the only Naked Alien.
Oh.
Yes. Beautiful sneaky passes. And, I've seen a lot of sneaky passes for the Quad Fathers throughout this weekend, too. They've really utilized El Majestic well for that. So each team, they have their preferred pivots that they like to use for a star pass. And, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We're seeing effective things happen on both sides. Great. Yes, we're seeing lots of nominations for Naked Alien for a Most Valuable Player award. So we'll have to wait and see because we'll know this. I don't even know the answer yet, and I am the tournament head announcer. So I wait until the information is provided to me after the last game of the day. And then we hand out medals, we give awards, we do the things. And then we after party. Woo-hoo! Yeah. So it'll be a good time because they definitely represent here in Rome. But you know what else? We've got 303 El Nino versus 603 House Tar off the jammer line. And now everyone's back on the track as Rufo had started in the penalty box, but he returned, so has now paired up with Fuerza Brutal and currently braced by B-Shears at the back of the pack. And at the top, as everything pushes to mid-back stretch, we have Doc out there along with Curtis working to contain Defunct, who has accepted the star pass.
Oh, beautiful push to the outside there. That was by Austin Anarchy skater number 65, T-Rex.
If we could get a replay, I will take it, but I know it might have been too fast to catch. Okay, Defunct does not have the star on yet. Let's see what he does. Should put that, there we go. The star is on the helmet. However, no points accrued for Mohawk Valley. 2 points up for the Anarchy and an official review called by Gutshot. There we go. There's that instant replay. All right, there's the hit. T-Rex runs back. Ooh, and we had a flying vicious as well. But yes, thank you, Chad. And you know, we're so spoiled. We get instant replay functions, and it's pretty rad. So thanks again. And just in case you didn't know, New England Roller Derby Report, there's a donation button on their twitch.tv channel. So if you are so inclined, because I know Chad himself would never ask, because he doesn't do this for the money. He does it for the quality derby, because it's really the love of the game. Feel free to support New England Roller Derby Report, and who knows where you might see him pop up next year. Wishful thinking, Chad, wishful thinking. Isn't it nice to be loved? Yeah. Yes. You're not, oh, see, something interesting is that Chad has started to travel with a camper. However, he is going to make the long trek home to Maine. Was it 10 hours?
It'll take me 10 hours.
It'll probably take him 10 hours to get home from Rome, New York, all the way to Maine. But that is commitment, people. We appreciate the dedication.
Definitely appreciate you, Chad. So we are in the midst of a official review here by Austin Anarchy, which looks like will be immediately answered by an official review by the Quad Fathers. So we have sent Bobby Narco into the fray to check out what the dealio be.
Our man on the street. You know, he's our investigative reporter.
Yeah, he's
Yes.
not very incognito with that hat, but he doesn't need to be. He seems professional enough that anybody will bring him
Oh, we get that run back
in.
again. There we go. Oh, this is a different one. Oh, okay. Same one. Okay, I thought it looked familiar. There we go.
Boom!
Oof. Oh, okay, so we've got, okay, Chad is a hero. Yes, Bigley. Yes, Chad is. And I love it. Sir Nix-a-Lot, that replay was for you. And Dookie Jukey says, Chad 2020. Yes.
Wow. So
He does not accept the nomination, but we want to see him more in 2020, that's for sure. Alien 2020, we'll see if he accepts the nomination.
So taking a look at some of the jammer stats we've seen in this half, we've got 15 leads picked up by Austin Anarchy, and only 6 picked up by the Quad Fathers thus far.
It certainly tells the story, but I think we've got another piece of it coming to us, courtesy of Bobby Narco. Rich will have that for us in just a moment. And don't forget, we have the last game of the day, Game 12, coming up between the Chicago Bruise Brothers and Denver's Ground Control next. That'll be around 7 p.m. Rich, what do you have for us?
Well, for one, a little clip of clarification who is looking for that official review. It is just the Quad Fathers who is using the official review. Austin Anarchy, not so. So the Quad Fathers were looking for a forearm penalty to be assessed against the Austin Anarchy jammer. Unfortunately for them, they are not going to get it.
And a beautiful swirl and twirl up the inside line from Wombo Combo, securing lead quickly up against Poblex of the Quad Fathers. And we're seeing Poblex very quickly catch up. It looks like Wombo Combo hoping to run the period clock.
Yeah, Wombo Combo's just going to let this one run. Quadfathers don't have any clock stoppages. And so in 5 seconds, he can call the jam, and we won't get another one.
That's right, but 4 points up right now for Pavlex. And right now, ooh, beautiful apex jump. We'll see what we can get on that. So Pavlex making the magic happen.
Wombo Combo going to keep this one running. There's only 15 seconds left on the period clock. There's no way that the Quadfathers could extend that jam or extend to another jam. And there we do have the call.
That's right, we do. So let's see what the final tally is. Of course, we'll have the unofficial final score first. But right there, I just have to say, that was an excellent display of sportspersonship, just what it is that we all love about MRDA and roller derby in general. It's fantastic.
So that does bring us to the end of this game. Unofficial final score stands at Quadfathers 101. Do end up breaking over that century mark. Austin Anarchy with 139, so a 38-point victory as it stands, assuming no score corrections are made as our officials confer.
Yes, and while we await official confirmation, Rich, the New England Roller Derby Report would like to thank their production sponsor, Sociopath. Sociopath is a skater-run business offering custom sewn-to-order lightwear for teams and individuals. Size-inclusive activewear designed to fit you. Sociopath also offers dozens of armband and helmet cover options for scrimmage and competition. Team discounts are available, so please see sociopath.ca for more details, and that's SEWCIOPATH.ca as in Canada. Thank you, Soch. And it's official. Am I right?
It is officially official. 101 to 139 is the final score. Austin Anarchy, your victors. They have secured themselves a trip to Denver, Colorado in October to compete in the Men's Roller Derby Association's Championships 2019.
That's right, Rich. And this is quite exciting. I'm so glad to have been able to share this call with you.
Oh, absolutely. It's been a pleasure.
Likewise. And all of our friends out there in the Derbyverse watching on twitch.tv/nerdderby. And we hope to see you back for Game 12. We will have Champ Unkind and Ripping Longstocking bringing you Denver Ground Control versus Chicago Bruise Brothers right around 7 p.m. It's been a pleasure, friends.
Thank you all
see you next
so
time.
much for joining us.
All right, bye-bye.